In this year Healthy Family exclusive, the holidays are a season of giving. And this year, a Colorado Springs man is grateful he's been given a second chance at life. It happened in September of 2017, and Jered Wickman clearly remembers it.
I remember the crash. I remember my front tire folding over on me, and I woke up in the middle of the street, and this foot was tickling the back of my head. I remember passing out from the pain at least 8 times on the asphalt.
Jered's wife, Victoria, rushed to the hospital when she got the news, not knowing just how bad her husband was injured.
I didn't know what doesn't look good means. I didn't know that he was pretty much on the OR table, gone. I don't think reality really set in right away.
Orthopedic trauma surgeon Dr. Peter Fredericks knew the reality he was facing, trying to put Jered back together.
Both bones sticking out of your legs, your thigh bone sticking out of your legs. Historically in the textbook, 50% of people die from that.
This femur was broken 7 places and this one was broken 5 places.
The first job was to stabilize Jered.
Cleaning up the open breaks, getting all the bad stuff, the road debris and stuff like that, the gravel out of there, closing the wounds, and then I put external fixators on both legs.
And then the reality set in for both Jered and Victoria.
The nurse there was ready to pull the blanket back off of him. That right there was hard to stomach. He had rods from pretty much his hips all the way down towards his feet.
And I came to, and Dr. Fredericks was like, "Look, we got you back together." He's like, "You're gonna walk again, but you're gonna walk with a cane for the rest of your life." And that's when it hit me.
For Jered, the pain wasn't just physical.
I'm gonna be down for, I thought, a couple months, but it turned out to be a whole year.
It wasn't just you that was affected, was it?
No, it wasn't. And that was the worst part about it, knowing that not only did I mess up my life, I messed up my family's life. I messed up my friends' lives, the people that had to get out of their way and help me.
He couldn't really do anything. So he was laid up in the bed for quite a while.
Part of Dr. Fredericks' challenge in the many surgeries that followed was not only piecing back together his broken legs, but also replacing what was missing.
He was missing about 2 or 3 inches of bone. It was still sitting on the road somewhere out there.
My buddies tried to find it and they never could.
And we essentially had to regrow some of his bone for him. And I basically had to put a spacer in there to allow his body to form some tissue over the top of that. And I had to go back in and take that spacer out at about 6 or 8 weeks and then put bone graft in there.
Besides the bone graft, Jered now has enough hardware in his legs to be his own department at a home improvement store.
I don't count. I put enough in that I feel that it's secure.
The countless hardware, the many surgeries, the rehab, and physical therapy, as well as effort, all paid off for Jered.
He has no restrictions on him. It's up to him and what he can do, what his body can tolerate.
Jered is now back walking and at work, and much of the time,
I don't use a cane. I try to better myself all the time.
Through it all, his family, friends, neighbors, even his boss, Mike Maroney, personally stepped in to help.
I think about all the friends, all the family that helped me out and carried us through this hard time. It's, just like I said in the beginning of the interview, just an overwhelming feeling of gratitude. It's just the way the community came back together and to help us out. Mike Maroney, he did pretty good for our family. He did really good.
Yep, him and his whole team there. If it wasn't for our family and for our friends and his coworkers and the therapists and the doctors and even my family's neighbors and friends and relatives, and I never asked. They just jumped in and started helping, and that's one thing that I'm very thankful for, to live in this community. Colorado Springs is one amazing community. Between CSPD and his Santa and his elves and everybody. I mean, if it wasn't for everybody helping us make sure our holidays, I don't think we would have had a holiday last year. So we're looking forward to this year.
His miraculous recovery and second chance at life is a gift that will keep giving for many.
So in these circumstances, when you have outcomes like this, it really has to be all the stars aligning You have to have the right people there from the get-go when he hits the door for the emergency room or the trauma bay, the right people in the operating room every time you go to the operating room, the right people caring for him on the floor while he's still in the hospital and in the rehab facility, and then post-operatively too in the clinic and the rehab facilities. But that's only part of it. The other part, which I think is probably a bigger part, is what the patient puts forth in their effort. So, and what I can say about Jered, I mean, you know, he did everything that we asked of him, and he put forth 110% in his recovery and his rehabilitation. So I think that's why, you know, the outcome was so good with this. There was a big investment on his part and his family's part as well. So, and to have that social support from his family as well is big. So his wife was with him, you know, every appointment. You know, they did everything that was asked of them and some more. So you can't ask any more of that in a patient when you're trying to make them better.
I think about all the friends, all the family that helped me out and carried us through this hard time. It's overwhelming feeling of gratitude. Dr. Fredericks knows how to put people back together. He did really good. He did a phenomenal job of putting me back together. I never would have thought I could walk again, to be honest with you.
I'm Ira Cronin for Your Healthy Family. For more health stories, head anytime to yourhealthyfamily.com.